Allah has ordained kindness in every matter. On the authority of Abu Ya'la Shaddad ibn Aus, may God be pleased with every believing companion, disciple, and person who loves God. The teaching of the prophets says that God has ordained that we are kind to everyone and everything. This is speaking about the matter of feeding the poor, so that if we feed someone who needs to eat an animal, we should slaughter that animal with kindness and not scare it or use a dull knife. Therefore, we should sharpen the knife. We should take the animal in a way that is kind and try to avoid any type of suffering and minimize any type of suffering for that animal at the moment of death. They also say to allow those animals to be apart so that if it is necessary, that animal can be slaughtered without a moment that scares all the other sheep or cows or other types of animals that are used to be animals who are part of farming. So this is simply saying at the moment of this sacrifice or at the moment of slaughtering the animal, it should be done while mentioning God's name quietly and treating the animal as kindly as possible, as we need to survive and eat the meat of that animal. So this is talking about pre-modern times. It's not getting into the debate that we find in modern times, but it's simply saying that the few times that they would actually taste meat throughout their year or life, they should treat that animal nicely as much as possible without scaring others. And this was an extraordinary statement because animal rights were not conceived at that time at all. I mean, they barely treated one another with that level of kindness, and they looked at other human beings as beasts of burden. And so for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to state openly and teach warring tribes and people who are intoxicated and set on their own self-destruction to reach a level of civilization that's extraordinary, and to even say exercise restraint and be kind to animals is unparalleled. Yes, feed people, stay alive, but also be cognizant that this is a gift from God, not to waste it. And there are certain societies that celebrate the fact that all parts of the animal is used, whether it's the skin or the ears or the hooves and so on. So it's not a wasteful consumerist approach. It is saying, yes, earn an honest living, share it with others. This is simply saying at that time, pre-modern times for the prophets, to teach warring tribes and societies, to teach children that you should be kind, and to let adults be kind to children or women or disadvantaged groups, even towards animals who they considered lesser than even, unfortunately, at that time, women and children, is a transformation that's unparalleled. So I ask God to accept this so that we live an enlightened life where we treat everyone beautifully, even at the time of necessity. During that time of necessity, they still were considerate towards that animal.